vlog debut.
Oh my god, I just double-checked.
I don't know if we're gonna get through this.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Honestly Hannah, a podcast hosted by me, Hannah Coda, where I share all my honest opinions about all things going on in the world. I'm treating this podcast like a diary, and trust me, I have a lot to say. Welcome back to this week's episode. I have a special guest with me. Her name is Alyssa Sukasam. Alyssa, do you want to say hi?
Hi everyone. Happy June.
Happy June. I really wanted Alyssa on this podcast because Alyssa is someone I met later on in life, but we are so close. You are one of my best friends,
Sure.
Pretty much as close to my other best friends like that I've grown up with my entire life. And I wanted her to come on to talk about friendship type things. This whole month, the theme is about friendship and love. I realized I didn't even tell you that.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride.
Love is love.
Love is love. Oh, that's so cute. I love Pride. As you can see,
And
I
love
wore
the
this.
Lakers.
Yes, I wore this shirt in honor of Alyssa. Alyssa is like literally the biggest Laker fan I think I've ever met in my entire life, and it's Pride Month, so this is a Laker Pride shirt. But yeah, so starting off this month, I wanted Alyssa to come on, because honestly, Alyssa, I think you're one of like the most loyal, like truthful, just genuine, like
This is gonna get to my head. This is gonna get to my
yeah,
head.
that's why I don't tell you this every single day. Person I think like I've ever known, and I met her in my adult life. And yeah, so what we're gonna do is me and Alyssa are just gonna talk about us and our friendship, and then we're gonna play a little game so we can
Here we go.
so we can break it down even further. But yeah, Alyssa, like, let everybody know a little bit about yourself.
Hi everyone. I'm Alyssa. If you don't already know me, I met Hannah in college, and now we're attached to the hip.
Mm-hmm.
And
But we weren't always originally.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to Rudy about this last night. My boyfriend, my significant other.
my bestie.
Yeah, her bestie as well. Literally, we were fighting about this last night. I was like, Alyssa's my friend. And I was like, you cannot hang out with Alyssa without me. And he was like, yeah, that's kind of true, but Alyssa's still my friend. And I was like, okay.
There's plenty of Alyssa to go around.
Okay. But yeah, I was telling him, like, we weren't always as close.
Yeah.
Like, when we first met, I was just telling Rudy, like, I was, like, not intimidated of you, but I was like, who is this? Like,
That's exactly how I felt about you. I was like, wait a second, I kind of want to be friends with her.
no, literally, like, that's my first reaction.
Yeah.
So, Alyssa and I were in a sorority together.
Pretends to be shocked.
I can't. We were in a sorority together, and that's where we first met. But I think you hadn't come to any of the meetings, I think, maybe, or something. I hadn't seen you, and we actually met, like, halfway through the semester.
Yeah.
She walks in with, like, the biggest personality and was like, what's up, everyone, da, da, da. And I was like, who is this person? And then she ended up going up to Jen Ortega, which is one of our other friends, mutual friends that we have. And yeah, I guess, like, the rest is kind of history.
The rest is very history.
Yeah, and even those first couple months, we got kind of close, but not, like, super, super close. Our friendship just kind of, like, developed over time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, us realizing that we're, like, the same person.
Literally. In another life.
Really.
We're twins.
And Alyssa, you're a little bit younger than me. You're
Yeah.
about 2 years younger than me, which is, like, the same age as my brother. And I didn't realize this even until recently. And I was like, dang, like, I don't know, just for me personally, I've always gravitated to people who were a little bit older than me. And I feel like you're very mature for your age, even though I don't think that you're going to say that.
It's so funny because I always gravitate towards people older than me. Most of my friends are older than me, so I love being the youngest.
Yeah. But, I mean, I wanted to bring Alyssa on here, too, because I get this question a lot, and I think it's because people see that I kind of have a lot of different types of friends and different friend groups. But one of the questions that I got a couple weeks back is people asking, Hannah, like, how do you make friends as an adult? Like, can you talk about that? because a lot of people who maybe don't go to college or go to college and don't really find like a huge connection with people, you know, or like in their workplace. And I think Alyssa is one of the greatest people to talk about this because Alyssa can make friends with anyone and anything.
I can make friends with the wall, for being honest. If we're being honest.
So I kind of wanted to get in that. I mean, like, first off, yeah, like, you graduated from college. You had a lot of friends in college.
Yes.
You have a lot of friends in your workplace right now, I think, as well. So can you give, like, some tips to some people on, you know, how to make friends once you're done with, like, regular school?
Yeah.
Like, once you're out of high school.
It definitely is very interesting. My personality is very, like, outgoing. I will find anything to talk about with you and carry the conversation. But I think if you don't have that connection, it's just to be friendly. Like, don't brush people off. Like, when they're trying to say, like, hey, what's up? Like, how's your day? Like, we all get it. Small talk sucks. But small talks can get you very far. Like, hey, like, what'd you do over the weekend? Oh, I went to the beach. Oh, you like the beach? And just carry the conversation on and show some interest. Like, you're not completely annoyed with this person. I get it. Some people aren't people. And it's like, okay, like, why are they talking to me? Well, especially in a pandemic, like, we don't really, like, hold on to, like, or we don't really get to see a lot of people. So, like, we see our friends sometimes. We see the people we work with. And it's just, like, kind of building that connection, like, yeah, like, I'm here to listen to you. I'm here to be a friend. Like, if you just need anything, I'm here. But it's just like, don't brush people off so quick, because that's how you don't make friends.
And Alyssa's, like, taught me this because I can be a little judgmental. But mostly just because I think for me, like, I don't like the small talk. Like, I want you to be real and I want you to be honest with me from the get-go. But what I've noticed about Alyssa is that she is very genuine in that sense. So, like, we connect over a lot of, like, pop culture stuff. You know, I had a criminal episode a couple weeks back. Alyssa shares my interest with all those type of shows. Even though scary movies are not your favorite, or scary things.
We can skip that topic, but everything else is up to par.
And so I think another, like, you were saying, like, small talk and, like, trying to carry the conversation, like, also just be genuine with it. Like, if you genuinely don't like something, like, and somebody brings it up, like, be like, oh, well, I'm actually really not that interested. And just find those commonalities, because I feel like even with me, like, I have coworkers who are much, much, much older than me, like, in their retirement, and or about to be in their retirement, but I can still create conversations with them. You know, whether it's maybe just, like, older music or, like, I don't know, you know, but, like, things that I genuinely like, I'm not gonna pretend.
Or, like, even when you are, like, trying to make a friend and they're talking about something that you have absolutely no clue, just be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Can you, like, inform me? Like, I kind of want to learn more about this topic. And then that's when you can start a friendship. Or, like, some of my friendships are like, oh, we bonded over, like, a certain song, or we bonded over, like, the type of pizza we like. And then they're, like, one of my best friends. So, like, you never know where a conversation can lead you. Just don't brush people off so quick.
And I know you, like, typically have a bubbly personality, but I've also seen you, like, on your off days, too, and you're like, please don't talk to me. I don't want anyone to talk to me. But I definitely think a big part of it is being open and being bubbly. But if it's not genuine, then don't. Please don't be bubbly.
You definitely can see it on my face, and I'm working on that. Like,
you can spot it a mile away.
A lot of people are like, "Are you okay?" Like, because I don't have a smile on my face. I'm like, no, I'm good. Are you sure? No, I'm good.
And I don't feel like, I don't know, maybe this is just me, but I don't feel like you have a lot of enemies either.
I mean, I hope not.
I mean, I do.
But if you are my enemy, I would like to know. we can squash. We can talk about this.
Conflict,
we can talk about this.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's just, like, some tips and tricks from Alyssa. I'm sure I pretty much everybody that kind of listens to this podcast has some knowledge of me, and, like, if not, you know, they can get in contact with you. But to talk further about this, because I know this is, like, a really weird kind of subject to talk about. And I don't know if it's, like, a generational thing, but, like, I really do think that for some reason it's like an issue with this generation.
It's hard because a lot of this generation is ruled by technology. Just growing up, like watching my cousins grow up, they don't know how to carry a conversation. And they're like 11, 12. They'll come to my house and be like, "Hi, Evan." Like, he'll just look at me like, "All right, cool. I didn't want to talk to you anyways."
Oh, gosh.
But, like, I think it's hard because it's like, well, what do we talk about? Like, now it's like the conversation would be like, "Oh, did you see this TikTok?" Or like, "Oh, I know this sound for TikTok," but like, what else? But when we were growing up, we got to play outside, make friends, and like do stuff that we're just like, that is good for your social life. So there's a difference between like being an introvert and extrovert, but just not wanting to talk to anyone at all.
Right,
like,
and I think the more you put yourselves in that situation, like to put yourself out there, the easier it gets. And like the easier it is for you to like notice if you're wanting to continue a conversation with that person. I know for me too, like I was really, really intimidated to spark conversations with those who were like older than me in the workplace. But I definitely think that both of us can say, like, some of the people who are quote-unquote older than us have, like, become our closest friends, you know? Like, even sometimes, like, our bosses or our, you know, like, our direct reports or whatever.
Exactly, yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just, like, all about putting yourself out there.
And, yeah, I mean, if you can make them smile, I think that's one step closer into, like, making them become your friend. But, like, honestly, a smile can go a long way. Or even just a little chuckle. Like, you know they're not paying attention, but you say something, they're like, like, that's kind of funny. And then just continue there. Like, it definitely is hard. But if you just kind of, like, put yourself out there. I'm not saying, like, full blast, like, hey, what's your life story? What's this and this and that? Like, this takes me back to, like, when Hannah and I were, like, doing recruitment. We went through, like, maybe 100, 120 girls, like, every night.
I
like,
will
just
say that.
Small talk can get tiring, but you can find points and be like, oh, like, hey, I know about this. Like, let's talk about this. Or even like, when girls didn't get accepted into our sorority, but they would still see me around campus, like, hey, like, at recruitment night, we talked about this. Like, I hope you remember. So, like, people do, like, remember a lot of the things that you say to them.
Yeah, and, like, I guess, I mean, not that I hate to say it, but it's like I definitely think in that way the sorority did help. Because if you don't know, and believe me, a sorority episode is coming probably again with Alyssa because we have a lot
to say.
We have
a lot to say.
I don't think I've mentioned this, but yeah, I was the sorority. I was the president of my sorority, and then Alyssa was also the president of our same sorority.
I mean, what can I say? Learn from the best. So
yeah, it was me first, and then she went later. But because of that, it taught us a lot of social skills, and that is one thing I will say I think about Greek life in general. So if you're in college right now, and I know the pandemic kind of messed everything up, but if you're thinking about doing Greek life, not that I would highly recommend, but it is one of those things where it definitely, like,
will get you out of your shell.
And just your social skills will just, like, shoot out of, like, the freaking gate. Even the most introverted people I have seen turn into, like, this social butterfly.
It's crazy. It's
really crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's really crazy. And sometimes it takes longer than what you would expect, like, maybe 4 years. Sometimes it happens, like, immediately. Some people just, like, needed that push. But yeah. Okay, so Alyssa and I are now going to test our friendship, but not really test it. We're really just going to share some stories. I know, obviously, everybody that listens to this podcast, you know that I have a lot of stories to tell, some that I've told already, but Alyssa also has a million stories. So we're going to go ahead and jump into that section. Okay, so the game that we're playing, it's called 36 Questions That Lead You to Love. Apparently this is a really, really popular or, like, well-known quiz. It's from the New York Times. It was posted in 2015, and I actually got this idea off of another podcast. It's called You Can Sit With Us. It's a really cute little podcast, so I recommend it really to anyone that listens to this podcast. It's kind of similar. But they did this, and you are supposed to play this game with either a significant other or someone that you're very close to in a friendship. Basically, what they did, I guess there was a study done, I think it was MIT. I don't know. Alyssa doesn't know either, but I think it was MIT. This is her first time hearing of this quiz. But again, it's supposed to be very popular. I think they did a study in MIT for like 10 plus years where, like, I think once a month they brought in these two people, multiple like couples of people, and had them sit in a room like in the daytime and answer these questions. And at the end of their study, they found that they either got married or that they were like best friends for life afterwards. And it was, you know, people who were of all sexualities on the spectrum, people who were heterosexual, homosexual, you know, everything in between, and above, I don't know, everything on the spectrum.
Yeah. Every which way.
You know, and they wanted to test this, and what they found was, yeah, every single person was either a couple at the end or best friends, like soulmates for life. And there are a lot of these questions, I think, Alyssa, that we have never really talked about.
Oh, this
like,
would be interesting.
I know. Not that our friendship is like surface level. I would definitely say that. We've definitely have some deep conversations. But some of these questions I don't think we've ever talked about before. But again,
I'm getting nervous.
I don't think it's like that serious. Some of them are surface level. Some of them are much deeper. But again, the test or quiz or whatever it's called is the 36 questions that lead to love. And it's the New York Times. So what Alyssa's going to do, I've already written a bunch of numbers. And Alyssa, I hate you. For you, those of you who are listening, Alyssa just held up the little bucket that we're going to pull the numbers from like a freaking beauty guru, which we like to do all the time because we like to make fun of people. But anyways, she's going to pick a number, and then I'm going to look at this quiz, and then we're going to, whatever number that is, we're going to say the question that's associated with it, and then answer it.
All right.
Or not answer it.
Or
we might skip it.
Yeah.
Or I might edit it out later.
We'll see.
Because the answer was too real. But okay, go.
ASMR.
No.
All right.
I hate ASMR.
Number 5. Oh, that's a good one.
Oh, wow.
Starting off small.
How is the world, like, so serendipitous right now? It's the question I just asked you. So, I was trying to explain to Alyssa the game right before I started hitting record. And we picked this question before. When did you last sing to yourself or to someone else?
Is that the question?
That's the question.
The last song was Me and You by Cassie, because I was driving here. That song was in its bag.
Honestly, I remember when every single radio station, because like back then it wasn't like really anything else, every single radio station was bumping that song.
It's so good.
But even now, like, I feel like if they played it like at a bar or a club, like everybody'd be like,
DJ, turn that track up.
I can't. And to someone else, I feel like we do karaoke all the time.
I mean, yesterday we were singing karaoke.
Yesterday we were singing Christmas songs because we miss Christmas.
Dude, speaking of, I was watching a Grey's Anatomy episode, and it was
She loves Grey's Anatomy. So
I'm a doctor. I went to Grey's Anatomy Academy.
I can't. Okay.
But it was a Christmas episode, and I was like, oh man, I miss Christmas.
I miss Christmas so much. Like, I literally think that the holidays are the best time of year.
Yep.
There's no other better time. Like, yeah, summer's cool and everything, but like the holidays.
Yeah, that's funny. Summer's cool because it's really hot.
Okay. What did I last sing to myself? I was probably singing something today, but honestly, I would say last night we were singing Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was
easy.
our starter.
That was easy. That was a little warm up. 32. Wow.
Ooh. Okay, so we're going all the way down. Obviously, there are 36 questions.
Yeah.
32. Ooh, this is a good one because
Ooh,
you're a
right.
jokester.
Okay.
You like to joke around all the time. What, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
Ooh, I mean, I feel like a lot of topics are off the table, but definitely don't mention like a person's like appearance.
That's so funny that you said that.
Their way, like, or any flaws that you think that they might have about themselves. racism, duh.
Yeah.
Homophobia, like everything, like immigrant status, like there's definitely where you have to draw the line.
Yeah, I think I agree to all of that. I wanted to know if actually, I was going to talk to you about this, whether it was on the podcast or not.
Amazing.
So Rudy was telling me yesterday there's a player in the WNBA. I don't know what team she's on, but right now it's like a controversy that's happening in the WNBA. Apparently, I think it was another coach on another team made a comment about her weight because I guess she got fouled or something, and the coach was like, how is she going to get fouled? Like, she's 6'4" and like 350 pounds. Like, how is that a foul?
Yeah, like, why would you say that? Like, basketball is basketball.
Right, and then she was like, okay, first off, like, I'm not 350 pounds. Like, my stats are everywhere.
Exactly.
Like, you know exactly how much I weigh. I weigh 240 pounds, and, like, yeah, I can still get fouled. Like, what are you talking about?
I just think that's funny because, like you said, like, if it was an NBA comment, it would have been like, all right,
That's what Rudy and I were talking about,
like, if it's a women, like, involved, it's like, oh, all of a sudden, like, these comments can't be made. Like, they shouldn't be made in the first place.
Right, and here's my thing with that. Rudy was saying, you know, like, well, we have to know, I mean, they're professional athletes. Like, we have to know their stats. Like, we have to know their height. We have to know their weight, you know, whatever. But my thing with that is, I think athletes and, like, celebrities in general get scrutinized so much about, like, through the media that if an athlete asks to not, like, for you to not comment or for you to not talk about a certain thing, then we should be respecting it. You know, even with Naomi. Yeah, like when she was trying to talk about her mental health this past week. I mean, I wasn't talking about the news, but we could do the news portion in this game.
It's every which way.
Yeah, which is literally how our conversations go. We're very, like, all over the place. But yeah, like with that, like if she doesn't want to talk, like if she doesn't want to do a press conference, like I don't understand. Like respect her wishes. Like as long as it's again not in that protected category. Of like race and
it's the same thing with Serena Williams. Like she gets so much crap for being, well, first of all, she's like one of the best tennis players in the world, but she gets so much crap. Can I say crap?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can say anything.
So much crap for being like, first of all, a black woman in tennis, and then like the way that her body is like built, I guess, because for a tennis player you have to have a certain physique, and if it doesn't match it, obviously you're the outlier.
Yeah, and it's like I just feel like if an athlete asks anyone to not talk about anything,
you should respect their
like
wishes.
you should respect it. Like it's like if I ask like people to not talk about my family, and if I was a professional athlete, and no one else in my family is a professional athlete, I don't understand why you wouldn't be able to like not talk about my family. In terms of weight, like the coach was obviously trying to make a derogatory comment, and even if he wasn't, the person who made the original comment of her being, you know, a certain weight, and that makes her not eligible to foul or whatever, like even if he didn't mean it in a very like negative and bad way, if she came out after the fact and was like, yeah, like you realize like how detrimental this is to me, and it affects my mental health, can we please not comment on this, you know?
Like I get it, in sports you get caught up in the heat of the moment, and then like you say some stuff that are like out of bounds, but it's just like you shouldn't have to go that far. Like a foul is a foul. Like it's not like you guys are playing.
Well, so I think it made the news too because she came out and said something like on her socials, he got fined. The coach got fined $15,000.
As he should. I was gonna say, was there any repercussions?
People are mad because it's something like that wouldn't happen in the NBA.
Exactly.
And I'm like, but it could though.
Yeah.
Like if a player came out and was like, stop commenting on my weight, like even like if the person is super tiny, you know what I mean? Like I know like a lot of like point guards,
like the point guards, they have to be like, well, they are like a certain height, like as to like a forward. I played basketball. You are wondering why I know these. I know these terms, but like if you're playing a point guard, you're like in the range of like 5'10" to 6'1". As if you're playing a forward, you're gonna be like 6'7" to maybe 7 feet.
A center,
yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Like but like I don't know. I just think that if an athlete asks you not to talk about something or is very sensitive to a certain subject, then we should just respect it.
Not even an athlete, just everyone. Everyone has their boundaries. So,
I agree with you. With going back to this question, the only thing I think I would add too is like those who are deceased.
Yes.
Because.
Oh, yeah.
Or like I don't know. Like my mind goes to like R. Kelly and like Michael Jackson and Bill Cosby, like that kind of stuff, or like Harvey Weinstein. Like I don't really like those type of jokes because I feel like they're still new and like I don't know. I don't that kind of stuff. I don't think can be talked about.
Like it shouldn't be. It's like not a funny topic at all. So like I don't think people should be making jokes about it in any which way.
Yeah, I don't think so either. All right, next question.
29.
29.
All right, I'm gonna buy a lotto with these 3 numbers.
I can't.
Stay tuned.
Okay, share with your partner an embarrassing moment in your life.
Which one do you want? My life is fully embarrassing.
I feel like we are like the 2 clumsiest people.
I don't know how to walk.
World.
I have multiple embarrassing moments.
I'm trying to think. I mean, you could share if you want the one that just happened.
Let's not talk about
too
that.
Too fresh. Okay.
It's not healed yet.
Okay.
Both physically and mentally.
Oh my god. I'm trying to think. I don't. Is it the most embarrassing moment of your life, or no? Just any embarrassing moment.
Oh, there's a lot. Now I have to think about it. I've done a lot of embarrassing stuff.
Honestly, I get embarrassed like at least once a day. Like sometimes
I get all flustered and I just I don't know.
You can see it on my face. I get red. I get so red. I mean, now I kind of wear like foundation and stuff, so you can't tell.
But you can feel your face burning up.
I don't know. Honestly.
I can do one. When I was younger, I used to play golf. And we were at the driving range, and there was a full driving range, so everyone was there. This is not my fault, but it's my mom's fault. She stands, there's a line where you shouldn't stand, right? So she crosses it, and no one tells me, so I swing the club, and I hit her in the face, and everyone was like, oh my god! I'm literally like 12, and I was like, what did I do? And I was like, I looked, and I was like, oh my god, I just smacked my mom in the face. That's probably why we don't get along that well. But
oh, that's okay. No, we love
but yeah,
lawsuits.
So everyone was looking at me, and I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing.
Oh my god.
Or here's another one. When I played basketball in high school, varsity basketball.
Yeah.
I was practicing by myself, and all you hear is thump, like at the end of the court. And they look over and they're like, what happened? I was like, I don't know, I just fell. And so then that's when I got the name Airbender for the rest of the season. Because I literally just tripped over nothing. Everyone in the gym was looking. God. Yeah, so.
I feel like I have a story like that. So I think I mentioned I cheered when I was younger, and we were at a cheer competition. Like it's so bad that I think I blocked it out of my memory. Like I forget that this happened. We were at a cheer competition. It was a full blown like cheer competition. We were doing our dance routine, and I was in the middle of our formation, like a V formation, and it was a hip hop dance because we did like cheer, and then there was like a second portion if you wanted to do like an additional performance, you could. And our team decided that we were going to learn another dance, and we performed it, and we actually won. But in the middle of the dance, I was like feeling it, you know, my adrenaline's going and like everything was good, and out of nowhere, like I wasn't doing anything or like anything really to like make it happen, but I just fall straight on my butt, like straight, like and like back and like straight, and I was like, okay, Hannah, you're a performer, like you gotta get it together, don't show it on your face. And so the whole time I was like smiling from ear to ear, but like a panic mode, and they have it on video of my face.
Oh, no.
Of literally like me falling to the ground and my eyes getting like all big, like panicking. But then I fall to the floor and I get right back up and I like just start doing the routine. But like if you zoom in on my face, like I look insane. Yeah. Like literally.
See, it'd be different if I knew how to pull off, like smoothly pull off like what I just did, but I just literally just let myself be a fool. Like I just don't know how to recover from it, so
I can't. And then I do like just a lot of embarrassing stuff on the daily. Like I send the wrong emails to people at work accidentally. I don't know, I trip on like a million things. I have a bruise on my leg like that's been there forever and won't like heal.
My elbow too.
And Rudy always looks at me and he's like, what is wrong? Like, what is that bruise from? He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like,
I wish I could tell you.
That's from so-and-so time. Like,
I wish I could tell you.
Yeah, just always knocking into things.
Yep.
All right, next question.
More of the story is we're both very clumsy and embarrassing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 25.
Oh.
Oh.
Ooh, here's where it gets. Okay.
Okay.
Make 3 true we statements each. For instance, we are both in this room feeling.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'll go first.
Okay. Or we'll do 1 and 1.
1 and
okay.
1. It says to make 3 true statements. True statements.
Okay.
We both are okay. This I think it's controversial, and I think people will be like, we both like to FaceTime each other over calling, over texting, over DMing each other. We both we would rather FaceTime.
FaceTime is literally you can go down my call list and my FaceTimes are like 2 hours, 2 hours, 1 hour and 50 minutes. Like,
and I think that's so controversial. Like when I see those tweets of like, oh, so and so's FaceTiming. Why the are you FaceTiming me?
I love a good FaceTime.
And I'm like, what? I would much rather you like pick up the phone and either FaceTime me or call me, rather than like text me or DM me or whatever. Because I don't know. I don't know.
I for sure wasn't a FaceTime person until I met you and a couple of my other friends
that we like to FaceTime.
They just FaceTime me. I was like, okay, I'm so used to this now. Yeah. But before, like, I don't like to pick up the phone. I'll maybe shoot you a text, but now I'm like, oh, FaceTime them. Like, come on, get them on the phone. So, like, that's another thing. Like, we love quality time. So, like, I feel like...
Yeah, our love language. Yeah. So when I first met Alyssa, I think I made you take it, or like within our friendship.
She's made me take 1,000 quizzes.
Yeah, that's true. I'm that friend. Yeah. I'm like, Alyssa, take this. I need to see if we're the same person.
Okay.
But yeah, I think because we're both quality time people, I think that is definitely a factor into like FaceTime. Plus, not to mention like I don't know, especially during quarantine, like Alyssa was my ride or die during quarantine. Like we were both obviously very cautious and very safe.
We were on FaceTime every day.
Every single day for like hours on hours, like watching shows together or like just like having like real life talks. Like I don't know, if I feel like I need help making a decision because I'm a little indecisive, I call Alyssa. And even like
and I'll let it ring for like if not 3 rings the most, I will pick it up on the first ring.
Yeah, same.
And you can, it's so funny because you always see me like walking out of my room to another room, like, hold on. All right, you can go.
Yeah, because I need to be able to speak freely. And our family's probably like, this girl again.
Listen, fun fact, Hannah is one of the people on my favorites list. So if my phone is ever on Do Not Disturb, it goes right through. Just her FaceTime.
Yeah, and also I'm not calling her like at 2 a.m. or anything. I don't think I've ever called you like in a panic.
I don't even think none of us are. Maybe that one time you accidentally.
Oh yeah. Oh my god, I should have said that as my embarrassing story. Oh my gosh.
We can revisit.
You know, Alyssa just reminded me of something. I accidentally called the cops in my sleep one time, and Alyssa was the first person I called because I was like, oh my god, what do I do? Honestly, guys, I've done it twice now. And it's literally the most nerve-wracking thing because they come to your house.
Yeah. In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night, and oh my gosh, yeah. And I knew,
so funny.
I knew Alyssa would answer. That's why.
There you go.
She's one of the first people I always
call. The call goes straight through.
Yeah.
All right.
That was an embarrassing story. I should have told that one.
I don't know why it just popped in my head.
Yeah. All right. Okay, you make one statement. Yeah.
We both enjoy living our life to the fullest and in the moment. We both want to travel and see the world for not only experiences but like how they live, culture there, and we both like to step outside of our comfort zone when it comes to traveling.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I don't know, like if we could have traveled, I guess more in the pandemic, we would have really found out. Like we've traveled together, but we're actually taking our first trip, like actually like on a plane, like for sure going somewhere else, like doing a whole experience soon. So I definitely think that we travel very similarly.
If you don't see me on this podcast after our trip, you'll know why. We don't travel well together.
That's true. And we've talked about this too. Because
Yeah.
there are friends that you can travel with, and then there are friends that you cannot travel
Yes.
with. So we're about to find out. I mean, but we have made trips
exactly.
together.
So
Just not like huge trips like
I'm
we're about
excited.
to make.
I'm excited. Everyone's like a different person when they travel.
Yeah,
So
I mean, for sure. There are the chill people that
Mhm.
are like, I don't want to do anything. I don't want anything on my itinerary. Then there's people that are like, we have to be doing something at every minute.
second,
And
every hour of the day.
And I think we're the middle people. And
we just like to go with the flow.
yeah, for sure. Like, yeah.
We're
And
very fluid.
which is very like different for me and you.
Mhm.
We are usually like very like goal centered or oriented people. We like to have things like consistently like just on the go.
Yeah.
I usually like a plan and an itinerary, but when I travel, it's completely
Yeah.
different for me.
1,000%.
Oh, I'm so excited for
All right,
our
you
trips
make the
this
last
year.
comment. I think 2 is good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
Three's a weird number.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite numbers, but
This-
still. All right, let's see if I
Next
can
one.
get 1.
Number
Oh,
one.
just kidding. This is a 7.
What? How did you mix that
Look.
up?
Look like a 1.
This is a good question.
Ooh, this is fun.
Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
Yes.
What?
Yeah,
You do?
I do.
Oh, okay.
Like, so one of my biggest fears is a car accident, and I feel like I'm gonna just. I drive like a maniac.
Okay, well, like, knock on wood.
Yeah.
But yes.
There's nothing in here, so.
Oh, that's not-
Yeah, so I think that I'm gonna die in a car accident.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like in California, like the
Yes.
probability of that happening is very high.
Yeah, so that's like my biggest fear, but also like if I go out by a car accident, I'd be like, yeah.
Did you ever have a hunch that you would die young or old?
No,
See, when I was younger, I had a theory that I really only told a couple people,
Mhm.
like I was gonna die young.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I I still.
die young.
We cannot get copyrighted.
Oh, shit, sorry.
But yeah, I always kind of thought that I was gonna die young.
Oh.
I don't know why. I always had this feeling. I mean, I'm already kind of a quarter of the way there,
Yeah.
so maybe not. But I don't know. I've always like had this feeling. You know my worst fear.
Yeah, I
Of
do.
dying.
Yep.
So I have actually just had a dream about this last night.
We should not be dreaming about these things.
I know. I have an irrational fear of dying in a tsunami. And Alyssa knows this, and I even like watch movies about it because I'm so scared, but I have a very big irrational fear. All my best friends know this. Like I have just this, it
Yeah.
like stresses me out even thinking about it, of like dying in a tsunami. I think it's one of the scariest yet most realistic way to die.
Tell me why I also had a dream about a tsunami.
Last
'Cause
night?
Yeah. So I had like 10 dreams last night because I was kind of drunk. But, yeah, I had a dream because I saw this TikTok, like, how to save yourself if, like, any of these emergencies happen. And it was like, if a tsunami is happening and you're on the beach, the waves will pull back.
Yeah.
So then I
Yeah.
had a dream, like, oh my God, like,
Yeah.
I think this was the one that you were in.
Oh
And
my
I was like,
God.
dude, we gotta go. So like we're running to the car, and then I
Yeah.
remember like when we were going to the beach, Rudy
my
said
God,
like
that's so
Rudy
crazy.
said, dude, a tsunami hits like 8 to 10 miles.
Because Rudy's told you
Yeah,
that before.
exactly. So then I was
Oh my
like,
God.
oh, we gotta go out. Yeah, so
Yeah.
definitely that was
Oh my
one of my dreams. That's
gosh.
crazy.
We both had a dream about a tsunami. I
mean-
don't know. I don't think that's how I'm gonna die. But I definitely do think I'm gonna. I definitely like. I love the ocean too.
Yeah,
Like
same.
both Alyssa and I will go all the way out, like in the middle of the ocean, and go inside of the water. But I don't know. Like and maybe it's just because of like a movie I watched
The
or
Impossible?
when I was.
It was The Impossible.
Yeah. Don't watch that movie. Do not watch that movie. That movie is so freaking scary. It's on Netflix though, if you do want to see it.
Yeah.
But it's so scary. Like that is just like my literal like nightmare. And even when like Aquaman came out and there was like that
Yeah.
forced
Yeah.
like
Mm-mm.
tsunami that's in there, I was having a panic attack in the theater. I was with Ashley,
Yeah.
one of my other best friends, and I literally was like, Ashley, I'm having a panic attack. Like I can't watch tsunamis. I don't want to hear about them happening.
The ocean is
Um,
just insane.
Yeah, and it's something that we can't control.
Yeah.
Like, I know a lot of natural disasters, like, even we have a million earthquakes here a day. I'm not scared of those. Like, I'm not scared. I don't even really think of it anything else, like a
Yeah.
tornado or anything, even though I probably
I
should
just-
be scared. It's just something
I don't
about
know.
tsunamis.
I don't know.
that I just can't do. And then being buried alive is my second.
See, you said that and I thought of a Criminal Minds episode.
Yes,
no,
that's
the
why.
same one? Yeah.
Criminal Minds.
In the basement of a abandoned hotel? Yeah. Oh my god.
I can't. Like,
yeah, that's scary. All right.
If any of those things happened to me, like that
it would just be over.
I'd probably have a panic attack in my heart. I would have a heart attack.
All right. 8.
We're 8. Name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. I feel like we just named like 10,000
everything.
of them.
If you haven't been listening to this podcast, I don't know what you're doing. So we'll get another question.
Yeah, because I feel like that one, we for sure have said.
17.
17. Well, what is your most treasured memory?
Of us? Or
no, just in general.
Oh,
your
dang.
most treasured memory. Honestly, when I first heard that, I immediately, like, for you, I thought of something like in Lao.
Yeah. That's a good one. Ooh.
Yeah. I definitely think, I know what mine is.
You go first.
It was one of, like, the last, like, days I had with my grandma. That is, like, and it wasn't even anything, like, crazy. So it was on Halloween. I went to go visit her in the hospital. She passed away, like, a couple months, like, after Halloween. She passed away a couple years ago, but my grandma was my, like, absolute best friend.
Yeah.
And I went to go visit her in the hospital. I was about to go to school, like, to Castilla.
Yeah.
And I just, like, hung out with her for, like, a couple hours before I left to school. And I sat there and I did my makeup, like, full on, like, Morphe palette, like, just sitting in the hospital room, like, talking to her, you know, telling her about my day and, like, everything. And then I, like, did her makeup because it was, like, Halloween, and I did, like, this crazy makeup. And yeah, we just kind of, like, sat there and talked, and then I paid for, like, it was, like, a day where, like, the nurses hired, like, someone to cut, like, their hair and stuff. So, like, she was like, hey, like, you know, I don't have any money on me, like, can you pay for me to get my hair cut? I'm like, yeah, like, you know.
That's not a problem.
And we just sat there, and I think there was a Dodger game on or something, and we just sat there and watched the game together and just talked, and that was, like, one of the last times, like, I had, like, quality time with her. And
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think for me I was in kindergarten, but I had the later class. So like
you
around
were after me. You were a PM.
I was a PM, baby.
That's
probably why I have so much energy. I don't know. But so my grandma would take me to school, but before we went to school, we would walk to the market. And this market was like maybe 3 miles. 3 miles. So like me being a little 6-year-old with a big backpack going to the market. So I was like, we're gonna be late. Like, I didn't have a sense of time. Like, I don't know. I just knew I had to be at school. I was like, we're gonna be late. Like, how are you gonna go to the market? And then she's like, okay, we're fine. Yeah. So then she's pushing me on the little shopping cart, because back then you can take the shopping cart as far as you can.
Yeah.
And then so we were pushing it, and then we get to my school, and I was like, see, like, the gate's closed. Like, I can't get into school. And it was the AM class just coming out, and my grandma's just looking at me like, dude, you're such a fool. Like, you don't know nothing. But it's, so we used to walk to the market from my grandma's house. The market to my grandma's house. Dude, that thing was far. Yeah. And, like, she would push the groceries back. And she would take all of us, and it was, like, we would just mess around in the shopping cart.
And stuff too?
Me and Jasmine, yeah. So I remember, like, just being so upset because I missed school. You know this. I've had perfect attendance for 12 years.
Oh my god, yes. So Alyssa's one of those kids, guys. Alyssa's one of those kids that got a certificate
at the end of every year at the award ceremony for perfect attendance.
That is one thing we do not have in common. I was always being like, I'm not going to school, because my grandma used to take care of me during the daytime too. And I'd be like, Nana, I just don't want to go to school today. I don't feel like going. And she'd be like, okay. Like,
amazing. Wow.
She'd be like, well, we just, like, can't tell your mom. Or, like, you know, we can't tell your dad.
Exactly.
And I'd be like, okay. But I mean, like, I wasn't, like, calling off every day. But
I wish I could have. But yes, so I remember just being so, like, flustered, like, oh my god, I missed it was kindergarten. And my grandma just staring there, like, in the back with the groceries, like, just giving me the biggest smirk, like, because she knows what time it is. So definitely that one.
That's so cute. That's so cute. I can't believe I barely have memories of, like, being that young.
Oh, I should have told another embarrassing story. 4.
Okay, we'll do a couple more.
All right. How about we pick the good ones? This is not good.
What would constitute a perfect day for you?
Ooh.
I feel like we've had a lot of good days recently. Alyssa, obviously, oh my goodness, I totally forgot to say this at the beginning of the podcast. Alyssa and I are vaccinated.
Yes.
We have been for a long time.
A long time now. Don't ask out, please. Please.
No, we got vaccinated at the same time. So obviously we are trying to be as safe as possible. But ever since we were both fully vaccinated, we have been living our best lives. Like, you know, and not necessarily.
Safely.
Yeah, I was like safely. Not that we're like wilding out and like doing all this crazy stuff. Kind of. But we are just like, now that we can be with each other every single day,
we will take a full advantage.
And like, we just have a really good group of friends right now. I think we're all pretty solid. We're all vaccinated. We're all just trying to make up for lost time, I think.
And we definitely have done that. It's been fun. It's been very fun.
Yeah. I know what mine is, for sure.
Like from like start, from wake
start,
up?
Okay. From start to finish.
Do you want to go first? Or?
Do you have it?
I think I can.
Okay, you go first.
All right. So, Saturday morning, I wake up.
I knew you were going to say this. You do your cleaning routine.
Wow.
You're going to put your candle on. You're going to have some me time in your room by yourself.
All right, so.
Because she does this every Saturday.
It's a tradition. So, Saturday morning, I don't know why my room is so messy. I'm not even in it. So, I wake up, clean my room, vacuum, bed sheets and everything, light a candle, open a window. Come down for breakfast with my parents. They really like to eat like sunny side up eggs with toast. So
oh my god, that's my favorite breakfast.
Try it with soy sauce. And then so that's cool. And then go hang out with a few of my cousins, Ava, Jasmine, see my grandma, get ready, eat like a good like lunch-ish meal, get ready and just honestly this sounds so cliche, but like hang out and see you guys. Like I like get so excited to like, oh my god, we get to hang out today, or like I get to see them tomorrow. Like I literally love like when I get to see you guys. That have a good night, come back, and probably have something good to eat at night. Like I'm always thinking about food. And then
I mean a lot of our activities are centered around food.
And then come home, light a candle, and sit in the dark until I fall asleep.
Jeez, I don't know if I could do that. I can't sit in the dark.
I love sitting in the dark.
Honestly, I think like my answer has I think changed within like the last year, because I think before I was not that I'm not now, but like I'm a very extroverted person. Yeah. But over the past year. Over the past year, I think I've learned. I've said this before. I learned how to be by myself. Yeah. And I think like you can like attest to that too. I feel like I'm a lot better just being alone and like by myself. Mine is just like very similar. Like waking up. First of all, no alarm. No alarm because I have to set an alarm right now like 5 days out of the week. So no alarm for one. Wake up whenever I want to wake up. And just have a really chill morning. Like. Make like a good breakfast,
get a good drink, coffee, tea, take a walk.
Take a walk, yes, to go on my morning walk. Alyssa knows about my morning walks. And then to sit down and like watch a podcast and just like chill out. And then usually about then is when the coffee starts hitting me. And then just going and doing like a bunch of errands. I know a lot of people like hate errands and like don't really like care for them, but I love doing errands because I love to like check things off of the list.
It's a satisfaction.
Yeah, it's like that type of satisfaction. And then like having dinner with either friends or family. I think that would be like my perfect day, or just like my significant other. I would also add now, because we are fully vaccinated and everything, going to the movies.
Oh, that was fun.
My god. So we went to the movies recently together. And it was the first time I've been to the movies in like a year and a half. I missed going to the movies so bad, and I didn't realize it. Popcorn and just like the whole experience. Alyssa and I are the people that need to get there early so that we can, even though we already have prepaid seats.
I mean,
we need to get there
trailers.
Early.
It's just
the
like
trailers.
Yeah, I love it.
So I would add like going to the movies. It would be like my perfect day. And probably eating like Korean barbecue or like sushi, something like that
so
for dinner.
Right now.
I know. Maybe we'll do that after.
All right, last one.
Last one.
All right,
unless it's like lame.
Yeah.
Unless it's like lame.
All right, come on, Hannah.
And then we'll do like one more. 28.
Oh, we hit every category.
God, of course we would get this one. Tell your partner what you like about them. Be very honest this time. Say things that you might not say to someone you've just met. So it has to be like deeper.
Okay.
This is good for
can we
us,
just throw this
yeah.
out there? We're not very words of affirmation people, so.
Oh my God, yes.
I mean, I do it through a text, but I never said it physically.
Yeah, but we're not
Yeah.
not words of affirmation people. I think you are because like when you're trying to like attend to someone else,
Yeah.
but like naturally we're not
Yeah.
words of affirmation. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to my episode
Of love languages.
of love languages. You'll understand what we're talking about. But words of affirmation is literally essentially that, telling someone how much you mean, or telling someone like, you know, good positive
Yeah.
things about them.
I
Like,
don't know. This is where I'm gonna get all like red and flustered.
Yeah. I had a feeling that this question was gonna come up, and I looked
You
at the
would
questions.
pick that one.
I looked at the questions before. Alyssa didn't see them at all. But I honestly think that we wouldn't be friends if you weren't like who you are. You know, I don't think like if we were, I don't think we would be as close if you weren't the person you are. And I think, so
That's
Alyssa's a Cancer. Alyssa is a Cancer. Her birthday's coming up, July baby. Her birthday's coming up, but she's a Cancer. She's like, she's not on a cusp. The Leos start when? The 24th?
It might be like I'm like closer to the cusp, but like
You kind of act like a Leo. I'm not gonna,
Yeah?
but your inner self is 100% a Cancer.
Yeah.
100%. I think, yeah, you're a Cancer. And so Alyssa likes to apologize for everything.
Oh, God.
Like Ariana's song, like, you know, like, I think it's a Needy, like, I'm sorry that I say I'm
Yeah,
sorry
mhm.
or whatever.
Yeah.
When
She posted that, and then you sent me that. I was like, yeah,
that's
me.
Alyssa.
Mhm.
Alyssa likes to apologize for everything when
Everything.
she doesn't even need to apologize.
It's just
And even like that's something that like really, I know this is not the task at hand, but like that's something that annoys me about you, but like also I love that about you
Yeah.
because it makes sense of like who you are. You're like literally in this sense, like you are the most like considerate person I think I've ever met. Like even more considerate than I am, and
and you're very considerate.
I try to read the room.
Yeah.
I try to like, you know,
We're just
have a
feeling it
full-
out. Just feel it out.
I try to have like a full story.
Yeah.
So I try to be considerate in that way, but I think no matter what, like you always fight for the little guy. You are always like just a role model. I did definitely think in like the most simplest of words that there should be more people like you because if not, then this world would be even worse than it already
And it already is. Damn.
Yeah, I definitely think like Alyssa is definitely someone you want to have in your court. And
Why was I gonna say? I literally was gonna say the same thing about you.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't. Even like Rudy, like, because obviously like Rudy is my boyfriend, but Alyssa is very much obviously in our lives because I talk to Alyssa every day. Like Alyssa is like my
He's
other
used
half.
to it. He's
And
used
so-
to it. I hope so.
Just recently, I feel like him and Alyssa have gotten super, super close. And Rudy, like, you had sent him. I hope he's okay with me telling this, but whatever. Rudy
Oh, his good
recently,
luck,
yeah, Rudy had recently had a really good opportunity come up, and Alyssa texted him on the day of, like, randomly, like I think he had just mentioned it like randomly to her, and she remembered and texted him, was like, hey, like good luck today, like, you know, whatever, blah blah blah. And Rudy was like, oh my god, Hannah, like Alyssa just texted me. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, Alyssa's like the biggest hype man. You need
I
her
know
in your
all
court.
the details. Like,
Yeah.
This is the stuff that stays in my brain.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
And
know.
he was just so surprised, and maybe because he just hasn't had a friend like this or whatever, but I'm like, Alyssa's someone you need, like you need you, you know, like he needs you, I need you, like we need you around. So
Wow. How do I top? I literally, okay, I was going to say the same thing, but I guess I'll say it in my words. No plagiarism here, okay?
oh my god.
All right. Definitely, Hannah, you... How do I even start this? Like, how am I going to even get through, like, your wedding speech if I can't even do this?
This is so
Okay.
I hate this. I literally hate this.
But I don't think my life would be the same if you weren't in it. You definitely are a teacher, MVP.
MVP.
Yeah. All the above. Like everything that I need to know or don't need to know, you kind of just have all the information. Like I don't think my life would be as like knowledgeable, fun, like caring.
So I talk a lot.
So do I.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
But like we share the same values, and I feel like that's why we get along so well. Like
Right.
we can see eye to eye, but in some things we're like, okay, like you'll hear me out and I'll hear you out, and we'll come to a common ground. But I definitely cannot imagine my life without you. Nor do I ever want to. Like
Yeah,
you
I think
and
we're
Rudy.
I think we're stuck.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, I think we're stuck because
I know where you live and you know where I live,
Yeah.
so like it just
we're
us not being
intertwined.
friends just does not make sense in my brain because I've already pictured most of our lives together. Like
Yeah.
we have plans to go see the Seven Wonders of the World.
Yeah,
We have
yeah.
plans to we have so many things that we
that we really
want to do and talk about, and we make it happen. So like I
Yeah.
definitely don't ever want to see you not in my life.
I also think that we, like I said at the beginning, like we weren't as close when we first met, and then our bond just like kept getting like stronger and stronger. And I think it really is all about timing, you know, too. You were talking, and I was thinking something, but I didn't want to cut you off. I totally it completely lost my train of thought. But that, yeah, like you had to. Oh fuck.
Dang, Hannah, it's gonna kill me now. It's like at the tip of your tongue.
I
huh?
know, yeah, it is. It was
Keywords.
something about. Oh yes, okay. Sorry.
There you go. See?
That a good friendship. A good friendship is a friendship that, what you were saying, like, even though we have different views or maybe we don't feel the same way about, you know, certain subjects, like, yeah, Alyssa and I are very, very close and we literally talk every day, but that doesn't mean that, I mean, we don't fight, but
Yeah.
there are definitely some things that we don't see the same. And I don't think they're as detrimental as they may be for some other people.
Yeah.
But we talk it out, and this is definitely something I think I've like
Yeah.
taught you. Like,
Oh, 1000%.
it's okay to have conflict. It's okay to have conflict in your like just your regular friendships and your romantic relationships, with your coworkers, like whoever it may be. Conflict is extremely normal. If you don't have conflict, then I'd be like, okay, something's
Yeah.
wrong here. Like there is supposed to be conflict. You're not gonna see eye to eye with someone on everything, even though as similar
yeah.
as we are not exactly the same person. We don't exactly see things
Yeah.
the same way. And we have fought. Like we have like, you know, been upset with each other,
Yeah.
but like we've talked it out and we move on and we figure it out the
fine.
next time.
Yeah.
Like, and that's okay for friendships. I think too, Alyssa and I both have like what we call home friends.
Yeah.
We both have like groups of friends that we've been friends with our entire lives. So we have different types of
Yeah.
friendships too. So our certain type of friendship like suits us
Yeah.
right now.
Exactly.
You know? So that's like kind of going with the timing of things too.
I also think like just to like piggyback off, like we have arguments and we bicker, right?
Yeah.
But we don't pick at it every time we have a conversation.
Right.
We don't bring it up. Like it's not necessary.
No,
like,
but that's because I feel like we resolved it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like there are no hard feelings after that. Like we candidly say what we're
Yeah.
trying to say, without any backlash.
Yep.
So just kind of to tie it up, like from the beginning, like friendships are not always easy.
Yeah.
Like I know we were joking around this entire like episode, and like yeah, we have a lot of things in common, but it's also okay to not have things in common, and for it to be like awkward at points. Like literally as close as we are, like that doesn't mean, like I said, like that there's not going to be awkward moments.
Yeah.
That there's not going to be times where I'm like, oh, like Alyssa, I just want to
Alyssa, shut up.
shake you, like yeah,
Yeah.
like stop, you know. But obviously there is a line.
Yeah.
There's a line in that you shouldn't cross. But yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say something like, God.
You forgot it too.
I don't know what it was like. I'm not even trying to remember.
I just think that, I don't know, friendships are just as much work as like a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
And
they're so important too. Like, yeah, you can have like 2 to 3 like close friends, but those are the people you're gonna like ride with. So that's
And, like,
why,
and
like,
here's
you
the
don't need to
crazy
have
part.
a big group of friends. Like, luckily we got lucky because we have a great
We have
group of friends.
and it just so happens to be like on the bigger
Yeah.
side of like a group of friends. But I also think, you know, like I think it gets to a certain point where your friends all become like the same.
Yeah.
In a certain way. Like Alyssa has met my best friends and from my home, from growing up, like in my hometown, and I think that you get along with them just as like well, you know. I haven't really met any of your, like, your home friends just because the opportunity hasn't come up yet, but I definitely think, I mean, just your cousin, like, I feel like
Jasmine.
yeah. She has a cousin that's very similar and like close to her age, and I get along with her just as well. So I think too, like, it's also important that if your group of friends is not meshing, it's not the end of the world. Don't like try to force it. But I think it also says a lot when your friends from completely two different parts of your life get along. You know. And I also know too, like, I'm sure I'm gonna get some questions after this, and I guess we can kind of address it right now. Girl relationships, like girl friendship, like relationships. You know, like, I know a lot of people growing up, they're like, well, I just was never friends with girls. Like, I would always fight with them, or they were always mean to me. And it's like, no, it's always a two-way relationship. Most of my friends right now are girls. Most of my close friends are girls. Yeah, but that doesn't mean I didn't have, like, close guy friends, like, before. I had very, very close guy friends, like growing up. I think no matter... You know, and obviously, like, non-binary people, it's not just, like, male and female friends. But, like, whoever you're going to be friends with, just know, like, that relationship, no matter what type of relationship it is, it's going to take some hard work.
It's work. It's definitely work. Like, some friendships come easy, and those are blessings. Like, hold on to that. But, like, we have to put in work into our friendships. Like, going back to, like, the topic of this whole podcast, like, adult friendships are very interesting. Definitely learned that right after college. You don't get to see your friends every day. Right. And you're kind of just like, oh my God, what am I supposed to do? Like, oh my God. But it's not like, oh, my friends don't love me. Like, they never have time. Like, we just get busy. And I think that's what a lot of people need to know how to understand. And just, like, do you. And, like, when you see your friends, you see your friends. But it's just like, you can't see your friends every day. We all have lives. We all have things to attend to. Like, we all have things to do.
You kind of grow up, and it's okay if you grow out of it. Like,
it's uncomfortable, but you got to do it sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes that's just the nature of the situation. I also kind of want to touch on, like, friendships now coming out of the pandemic. Because I felt it a little bit with me. There are friends who I was friends with before the pandemic, and not that I don't want to be friends with them now. It has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's just I feel socially awkward around some people because I haven't talked to them in a long time. I haven't been around them, like, physically, so, like, I forget the dynamics of like the situation. So, like, also just be kind to your friends that don't necessarily want to hang out with you right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Even that, like, just a little check-in. Like, you guys don't have to hang out or, like, talk, but a little check-in, like, how you doing? Like, I hope you're doing fine. Like, that will go a long way. Like, I like to do that with a lot of my friendships. Just, like, I know I haven't talked to you, but I just, like, hope you're doing well. Like, you know, like Olivia
and, like,
Rodrigo
you don't have,
said, hope you're okay.
Oh, God, here we go.
Yeah, but, like, I just feel like, yes, a phone works both ways, but, like, if they're not going to go out of their way, like, just show that you care. I think that's, like, my biggest thing in a friendship. Like, you guys can't, like, you guys bicker, don't get along, but just show that you care, like.
Yeah, and, don't get your feelings hurt if they don't want to hang out with you. Yeah. But if they do keep canceling and, like, the friendship and the connection is just not there anymore,
then you just gotta step back. Yeah, like, step back and just readjust.
Okay, like, that's fine. But also just, like, I don't know, like, being an adult is also just, like,
terrible.
Yeah, terrible. I hate being an adult.
It sucks, but, like, you hold on to the people that you surround yourself with, like, the ones that have the same views, the same type of, like, feeling. The feelings are mutual. Like, when I see our group of friends, I'm like, oh my God, like, this is, like, we're all one brain cell.
Really, like, for real.
It just brings comfort. Like, if you're hanging out with people that don't bring comfort to you, like, I don't know what you're doing then.
Yeah, and, like, not only that, but, like, it's all about timing. Like, you're gonna have friends that you were maybe really close with at one point in your life, and you're not so close with them right now. That doesn't make it, like, that
we're
you're
not friends anymore.
Right, it has absolutely nothing to do with that. But maybe there will be another time in your life where you're close again. I don't know. I'm really against the idea of, like, you're not talking to me, or, like, you're being super needy in a friendship. It makes no sense to me. Like, if tomorrow you were like, hey, Hannah, like, I need some space, like, you know, I'll talk to you, you know, hopefully before
Yeah.
our vacation.
Yeah.
But, like, if you're like, I just need some space, I'd be like, all right, cool. Or, like, if you didn't even have to say that to me.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, okay, like, whatever.
And I also think, like, with our friendship and the group's friendship, we're not, like, hard pressing, like, I need to spend time with you.
Yeah,
like,
no,
we're
absolutely
super,
not.
like, go with the flow. Like, hey, you guys want to go get dinner? And everyone will be like, oh, yeah, I'm done.
Or,
so,
or
like,
be like, hey, I can't.
we're not
Yeah.
needy friends. Like, we don't need attention every other second of the day. Like, we'll see each other when we see each other. And I think we've all accepted that, especially during this pandemic. Like, we would go months.
But I also think that is, again, something to do with adult relationships. Like, if you find yourself, like, needing someone and needing to be on, like, someone and, like, constantly, like, hanging out with them, like, maybe you should ask yourself why.
Yeah.
And then learn how to be alone. Yeah. And then enjoy your friendship.
Dude, being alone
when you
is
can.
fun. It's not fun, but like you can
you learn to love it.
Yeah, what she said. It's not fun.
But yeah, I think we like covered most of like the topics that we wanted to talk about. I'm not gonna do the news. I feel like we talked about a lot of current events.
Yeah.
Happy Pride.
Yeah, exactly.
We're kicking off this month with love.
I mean, love. It should always be love and friendships.
Yeah.
But this one is extra special.
Yeah. And then this is what this month is about. I am going to be posting my schedule for the next upcoming podcast for the rest of this month because I am going to be doing some pre-recording. Yeah. Because Alyssa and I are going on vacation.
So excited.
But yeah, that was this week's episode. Yeah. Thank you so much, Alyssa,
Thanks
for
having me. Wow, this
She
fun.
was so scared.
I'm literally sweating right now. What is going on?
I was trying to tell her, like, it's just
a conversation.
It's just a conversation.
But here we are.
Yeah. So I hope you guys liked it. Please make sure to leave a comment, leave a review, like, subscribe, ring the bell, do all of those things.
Do all the above, please.
And yeah, this was Honestly Hannah.